I'm so honored to introduce my good friend for so many years. I'm so proud of what she does. Senator Comerford. I just want to say, though, I want to give a shout out because Senator Comerford was able to secure an earmark for the chamber that we were able to get out to certain businesses that really needed the help. We met about the businesses we wanted to support, and we identified childcare, lodging, media, some really key retail, and of course arts and culture venues, and we were able to do that because of her hard work, and so I thank you so much, Senator Comerford.
Oh, it is a lovely experience getting up and getting to look out at this beautiful gathering. So Diana, thank you. What Diana didn't say is that it would absolutely not have been possible to do the work we did without Diana's leadership. And Diana stepped up again in this last budget cycle when the dollar figure wasn't as important as the single place of origin for the money because of all of the legislative logistics. And I called Diana when she was, I think, in the car with Linda and said, hey, can we pass through some money quickly to get to some cultural institutions? And Diana did not hesitate for a millisecond and said, sure, yeah, just tell me what I need to do. So that's what I hear from Diana when I call. Just tell me what I need to do. Tell me how we can be maximally in partnership to really, as Natalie said, I think beautifully bring home resources here to Western Massachusetts to support your efforts. I want to say thank you to Diana, thank you to the Chamber, of course, John, of course, Linda Dunleavy, who is the foundation for all of the work, a lot of the work, I could actually say all, Linda, in Franklin County that I get to do. So I represent so happily the Hampshire, Franklin, Worcester district. The majority of towns are in Franklin County. And it has been no end of joy to do this for now. I'm in my second session. I want to say that I'm also overjoyed that the federal government is recognizing Juneteenth. We did it first in Massachusetts. We recognized Juneteenth as a state holiday in the middle of the racial justice uprising. We moved very quickly, but we didn't move very quickly only on our own. We moved very quickly because people like you, people in this room, told us we had to. And that's the first thing I want to touch on, is that whatever we do, and I can't say how overjoyed I am to work with this unbelievable delegation, but what we do is because you tell us to do it. You tell us it's important, and you help focus our efforts. That's how the legislature works best. And the second way we work best is in partnership. So Senator Hines, Representative Blais, the Franklin County delegation, boy, we lock arms all the time. We are low ego, high output. We are partners with each other's work, and I couldn't be more honored to see the kind of work that's coming out of the offices that you hear from today, and they're really tireless teams. So as you all know, we're talking about now working for businesses, working for the regional economy. We also, I just want to make sure that I touch on this, we also work for your people. We do, all of us, value constituent services considerably. And I want you to remember that when your people are in need, they should come to us quickly, and we can intervene quickly on their behalf. It's our job to bend state government to work in the best interest of all people. Now I'll segue into my work in the legislature. Right now I'm really proud to serve as the Senate Chair of the Joint Committee on Public Health, the Senate Chair of a new committee. It's a COVID-19 and emergency preparedness. So it's a new joint committee. I also am the Vice Chair of Higher Education. Of course, I gotta hold it down for Greenfield Community College and the University of Massachusetts, our flagship, and so many important institutions in the region that not only drive our knowledge economy, but drive our economic economy here in the Valley. And I also serve on a number of other committees for the legislature. When COVID hit, the Senate President asked if I would convene, so I did an oversight committee hearing on COVID. Now it seems like 400 years ago, but it wasn't. It was March 5th. Just before we really understood the enormity of what we would be facing. We saw it coming, and so we galvanized an oversight hearing for the legislature to make sure that we were thinking about the impact on our health sector, on our economy, on our people. And the Senate President asked if I would oversee the Senate's work, the Senate's response work for COVID. I thought, wow, I'm first-term senator, but yes, let's do it. And I will say that the Western Mass delegation in that Senate work was at the center of the work. We have a fine Western Mass Senate delegation that represents the 4 Western counties. And we worked on everything that you can imagine, from unemployment insurance to the PPE, as John said well, the PPE loan to now the uptick in unemployment insurance rates, to everything, including outdoor dining, and numbers of pieces of legislation that had to go through during COVID and then be extended during COVID. And that's, of course, our job. Our job is to respond to the needs of communities. And I was proud to do that, and now proud to chair this new joint committee that is looking at not only what we have to do right now, like extend the state of emergency provisions that were so critical. We were a little late getting that done, but we're critical to making sure that we can continue to run our municipal governments and continue to honor the work of the small businesses in our midst, but what we have to do to build back better, stronger, more equitably. And so that's the work of that committee. We had a hearing recently in Western Massachusetts where frontline providers talked to us about the kind of attention that needs to be paid to our emergency response in our healthcare sector to make sure that we have the resources necessary to go forward stronger. So that next time we face another contagion, and there will be, or another natural disaster, and there will be, that we have the backs of our small communities. And so I'm excited about that. We're due to release recommendations probably late fall of the coming year, and I hope that they will be actionable recommendations and makes communities like Franklin County stronger as a result. And in terms of public health, the Public Health Committee is really looking at local public health. These are our heroes in our midst, along with frontline healthcare providers. These are the folks, like we celebrated Phoebe Walker at Franklin Regional Council of Governments teaming up with the Greenfield Public Health Department to really, really bring what was one of the most inspirational things I've ever seen into being, largely volunteer-driven, highly effective, highly accessible vaccine clinics across Western Massachusetts, including, thank you, Treehouse, and Treehouse's parking lot. We do it like nobody else does it in the Commonwealth. We rely on our people, on our volunteers, on our smarts. We're generous, and we get it done. And we get it done against all odds, frankly. And we don't get it done in the form of a high-priced, pretty ineffective mass vac site. We get it done with the grit and determination of the people of Franklin County. So the Public Health Committee is looking at strengthening our local public health, which now we see as visible, like we've really never seen it before. We see it as visible, and now we have to make sure that local communities have the kind of resources they need and deserve to be able to have public health operations that have minimum public health standards and that can safeguard us and hit the streets the next time we face such an emergency. So those are two of the things I'm thinking about. My team and I are also really working on what it's going to take to reopen and continue to reimagine what our Commonwealth looks like after COVID. And we're particularly focused on strengthening the public higher education sector with a fairly large infusion of funds if we have our way. Also K-12 education. I'm delighted for Rep. Blais' leadership on the low and declining enrollment schools commission along with Senator Hines. That's completely necessary. We should all also be looking at our school buildings, and the Public Health Committee has a hearing on building health on Tuesday, actually, to really look at what it's going to take for the Commonwealth to use some of that federal money coming in to make schools in our local communities safer and healthier for our educators and for our students. There's a lot more I want to share, but I'll stop here with just, again, my sincere thanks for all you do. I can't imagine how hard it was during COVID for all of you to do the jobs you did, and you did them with grace and grit and goodwill. And I'm just so honored to be with you as we build back better. Thanks.